Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's a beautiful evening, and it goes without saying, welcome to another one of my streams. As the countdown ends, we will be switching to... where is it? I am not going to be playing competitive games, although the Hunt Showdown is kinda competitive. The thing with Hunt is it's a haunting. You see what I did there? It's a haunting game. It's a good one, it has a lot of atmosphere, and I think it's a good candidate for me to just walk and talk. We hope to do contracts, we have to kill bosses, but whatever. After that, I will switch to Dark Souls. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls, and I need to finish it on my YouTube channel. By the way, I do have a YouTube channel. It's All Things Yagami. Go check it out. It's on the description below. Right, so let us begin. Today's soundtrack is from the... can I say the amazing Skyrim? It is amazing, to be honest. I played it on its release, but the problem is it took me way too long to reach the end game. I think it was a year. Not because I didn't play the game. No, that's wrong. I did play the game, but I did not play the game a lot. I was preoccupied with other things, and I've only played the game on end of days, damn, that sounded wrong. You know, at the end of the day, I only play an hour or two, so yeah. And I'm kind of a completionist in these things. First off, I did not really like the quest system, but I adored the world. I adored the environment. I adored how things were. I just wanted to just walk outside. That's exactly what I did. I rarely even took waypoints. I think that's the problem. That's one of the main reasons why it took me so long to finish Skyrim. But nevertheless, it was a great game with a great atmosphere, and the soundtrack we are listening to right now is from it. The current track is, let me see, it's Under an Ancient Sun. And the next soundtrack, or the song, is going to be named From Past to Present. A really good soundtrack, I like it. It's relaxing, and it helps me focus when I'm doing something I need to focus on. Now, back to the hunt, I guess. Sadly, the hunt is an eerie game. In order for me to focus on it, I need to stop the music for a bit. Here we go. So, I've been having a streak of bad luck in the Hunt Showdown currently. I've lost many hunters. I think one of those many hunters only was able to get out alive and bring a bounty. But I am here to switch that. Let's recruit a new hunter. Ooh, this is a nice gun. It's the Sparks LRR. Renowned large bore single shot rifle. It's a bore single shot rifle with good sights. Can put down a bison across a prairie. What they mean is it deals 50 damage. You know what 50 damage means? That means 2 shots in the chests and 1 shot in the head. A very, very powerful gun. This guy is a tier 2 Gillian, whatever. He's got sword, throwing knives. Probably not going to be taking those if I take him. And a sticky bomb. Sticky bombs are good. This could be pretty handy against someone like the Butcher, if we do end up going to the Butcher. This is really a really good one. It's a good starter weapon. As the track passes, I do apologize. If you do end up playing the Hunt Showdown and you get presented with this menu right here and you kind of are confused. Well, first things first, the things that decide what hunter you pick is the amount of money the hunter costs. And by the way, if you are starting recently, you're not going to be seeing tier 2 and tier 3 hunters. Those are going to be unlocked in time. Let me see. In order to unlock them, yeah. So after you reach tier 34, you're going to have tier 2. You're going to start seeing tier 2 hunters. When you reach tier 67, tier 3 hunters start showing off, which is good. So don't worry about tier 2 or tier 3 hunters. I've always wondered, how come other people can see tier 3 hunters and I don't? Because I'm blind, I did not see the details and I did not see that. So yeah, if you have a tier 1 hunter like this guy is pretty good. You have a dynamite bundle. This is good damage against humans and the Butcher. The Butcher is really vulnerable against explosives, so this one is good. Fuses, I don't know. I think I found a good use for the fuses, to be honest. There was a certain fight where me and the other hunter partner, we were kind of guarding the spider and it was banishing, and we were of course attacked by 2 teams of hunters. Now I found it a good idea, it was night time, I find it a good idea to toss a fuse in a small area and it lights up the place and kinda obstructs vision. So that's a good use for fuses. I don't know if that's the intended use or I don't know, but for me that's the uses of it. But otherwise I rarely pick fuses. I always sell those, so I don't know. The machete is a classic, it's really good. You can just attack someone with a Nagant. This is a really good, it has good recoil, good damage, and the range is alright. It's a very good starting weapon. Unlike the Sparks. The Sparks does require an experienced hunter. You see the stats of it. 70 range, 50 damage. That's really good. One shot, one headshot, someone's dead. But you need to be a good aim in order to be able to use this one. So I don't recommend it. There's the scoped version, if I'm not mistaken, and it's even better, but it's even harder to use. The standard, the classic, the weapon that everyone is using or used is the Winfield M1873, and it's a very good weapon. It's versatile, It's middle range, sometimes can use in long range, but most of the time you're gonna want to use it on mid range. With it, a silenced Nagant M1885. Now this used to be a really overpowered weapon. I think they nerfed it twice. Once for certain, but I think they nerfed it once or twice, to be honest, because it used to do tons of damage and it's silenced. Now imagine taking damage and you do not even know who shot you. It's pretty huge in this game. So, throwing knives, electric lamp, never used these, never intend to use these. First aid kit, always buy these, so this always is, already is looking good. A flash bomb, I don't know, could be handy. And the Greyhound is a must perk. It's really good, makes you, or allows you to sprint faster. Not sprint faster, sprint longer, significantly longer, so it's a good one to have. You have the Trelly 71 Carbonizer. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about this weapon. In one side, people who killed me with it made it seem really powerful because most of the time, one shot, two shot. But when I use it, I don't know, I feel like the ADS, the aim down sight for it, is not cutting it for me. The reason I like this one is because the aim down sight of it is really good. It allows me to have a good, accurate aim. But it's personal preference. You do have the 1895 Officer, Nagant. I think it's the, yeah, this is the normal version, and this is the silent version. And as you know, in games, the silencer is always making the weapon weaker, which is kind of weird because that's not how it works in real life. In real life, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the knife, though I'm just gonna be rearranging the slot. In real life, a silencer is actually good. It even gives more, you know, precision to your gun and I think more range, if I remember correctly while I was reading. I know what, I'm not gonna take the knives, I'm just gonna buy a normal knife. What else? I need a weak vitality shot. Now there are two reasons why I take a vitality shot. One, because it's good and it gives you one chunk of health, but most times I end up not using it in my first run. And if I do take a bounty and extract alive, I just take the doctor perk, which allows me to take auto heal two chunks with one bandage or one weak vitality shot. So the value of the weak vitality shot is really good compared to the vitality shot, which is $75 and it heals all your HP. It's really good to be honest. So yeah, if you're confident in your skill and you know you can heal in time and you have good ammo or good accuracy and all those things, yeah. My man DMadizad, how you doing, friend? It's nice of you to join me on my stream. Kappa faces in the chat, yeah. Now, what's the next thing I need to do? I need an explosive. Again, since I'm not confident in my skills, I just take the dynamite skills, or the dynamite stick. The waxed one, the dynamite bundle. I think I played with someone who was able to one-shot the butcher with a dynamite bundle. I am not certain if that's the thing, if that's still feasible, but if it's still feasible, or if it's still feasible, that's really good. We have Mr. Krabs with us. Now, when I was, let's just say, when I was on lower level, before level 79, as you can see I'm rank 79, I saw many people asking for rank, and I thought it was kind of a scummy way to play. He asks for your rank, and if you're not the correct or the optimal rank in his thinking, he will play with another one. He would just skip your queue and go play with someone else. But to be honest, I kind of understand these people nowadays. When I'm, rank 79 and I get with someone with rank 10, 20, the guy does not really know how to play. And he doesn't even have an adequate hunter. And we end up being destroyed. So me buying a $600 or $700 hunter kinda do not help the situation. But hey, what can I do? Sometimes I do ask for ranks, but most of the time I really don't care. Which is something I need to correct. Hopefully, 2 days ago I think, they put on a stream and they did say that they're gonna be implementing a matchmaking system, which is pretty interesting for this game. That means I might be paired with people with the same rank as I am, so I do not need to be focusing on the fact that someone is not in my skill level, or isn't he? It's something normal, but not having it in this game kinda makes it weird. So yeah, hopefully that will fix things out. Waiting for other players. Like I said before, they did fix the loading, which is really good. So let's see. We have one exit, two exits, where the third one. There you go.
Oh. Bench.
I guess most people in this game rarely do speak English. I've been paired with a lot of Russian fellas, although they have Russian servers now, which is weird. To be honest, I really like the Hunt Showdown. In the night time, as you can see, it's a pretty game. That is not a pretty thing. Stepping into the water is not going to be a wise idea. And we have to be silent, because to my left, as you can see, crows. This game is... I still think that these things are a tiny bit overpowered. I know I shouldn't lower the master volume because I need to hear others, but it's a tiny bit too loud. Uh-oh, my body is going to be attacked by one of those. Nope. Now the biggest reason why I attacked him on his feet is because the armored zombie has a charge. He will easily run and try to kill you, so yeah, as my partner bugs into the logs here. So the first thing and the wise thing is to attack his feet, and then just take your time killing. Anyway, right into the next clue. Now for this game, for those of you who do not know, I need to search for clues in order to find the boss. As you can see, the map is, you know, darken out in places where there is no boss. Obviously I can go to every settlement and we can just find it without searching for clues, but that kinda takes too long. I think these are the hardest enemy in the game, much harder than even hunters. I'd rather be pairing against hunters instead of these guys. And he did good, although he's looking for his knife. Can't find him, can't it? Don't worry, buddy. There's a perk that makes you highlight the knife so you can see them. Anyway, on to the next clue. So yeah, like I said, the dogs are kind of buggy, to be honest. They attack you, they take half your HP or something. They're really not an easy enemy. They are often in packs and it's not a normal situation. Zombies are meh. Never a big problem. Although yesterday I did end up dying because of a zombie who gave up my position. Yeah, I just need to run. Second clue for the butcher. I really like the butcher, to be honest. It's a good enemy. It's a good boss. It's much less annoying than the spider, as we hear gunshots to our right, northeast probably.
Thanks.
Time to be a tiny bit serious, more focused. So there's two teams of hunters, some to northeast, to our right, where we are right now, and others to our behind us. This is a tough situation. Oh, someone died. It appears that they are fighting each other, or at least they saw each other. Let's see if you can do something about this. Son of a bee. Through the wall. Damn, that's good. Well, let's hope my partner has better luck. I tagged him twice, but yeah, I think he healed. He's not that good of a hunter. Obviously better than me, goes without saying, but yeah. To be honest, excuses time. There is a spotlight, as you can see, in my webcam. And that kinda is getting in the way of my vision. But hey, excuses. Nice shot. Second nice shot, but you are in the open, my friend. You need not to be in the open. you need to find a better spot, reevaluate the situation. And as I say that, it appears that we have a second team. Get the headshot. You can get the headshot. Take your time. Take your time. Leave him be. In this game, it really matters. Your shots, that is. If you just shoot randomly, you might end up dying, just like I did. Although I tagged the guy twice, it didn't really work. Now this guy seems to be interested in other hunters. Probably the other guy that he killed, his partner. That's a good one. That's a second good one. Come on, one more. Of course, the guy badly hurt is not going to stay there. He's going to need to go and heal himself. In this situation, probably the wise choice is to rush him. But the problem is, our partner here needs to understand that there is another hunter to his left, which is probably... Nah, I don't think so. Because he tossed something flammable into the, the other guy's body. So I don't think he's going to be able to revive him sometime for now. Again, our partner seems to be a bit more experienced. He seems to be trying to take a shot. Nah. I think he kind of forgotten that you need to lead a bit with your shots. There is a travel time in between shots, so he needed to lead a tiny bit in order to get his tag. Now, second one is dead. That's one hypothesis. No, it's our friend that's been tagged twice. He already killed two. So the other team is dead. Take your time, do not panic.
Bye bye, beach.
You see, he did most of the things right. What's this gun? Mosin Nag. Damn, now that's why I died. Now that's a gun with a big punch. Now that's a pack-a-punch gun. Of course I do perish easily. Well, that's the first game. What can we do? So, the biggest problem that my partner did wrong is he did everything right. He had the right gun. He was doing everything he needed to do. What the hell is this? Says Turtle Shield. How are you doing, Turtle Shield? Now I'm playing a game called The Hunt Showdown. Are you familiar with it? But yeah, so he was doing everything kind of right. He switched to the shotgun, so that was close range combat, tagged him once. The thing that he needed to do is one thing and one thing only. Melee attack with his shotgun. He used 2 shots and he just needed to melee. The guy was almost dead. He opted to switch to the main gun and that's what killed him. Nevertheless, on to the next game. We are choosing a hunter. So, Mr. Turtle Shield, it appears that you do not know what the Hunt Showdown is. It's kind of a battle royale. One of those things. Where you are a hunter, you get dropped in this world. I think it's in Louisiana, and the world is infested with monsters, zombies and everything, and you are a hunter, so you are under a contract, and your contract is to go infiltrate that world and get rid of 2 main bosses, the spider boss and the butcher boss. Once you do so, we need to banish those bosses. The banishing takes some time, so you need to defend your perimeter. And after you do so, you can just pick up the bounty and exfiltrate the map safely. Understand one thing though, you are not the only one on the map, it's a battle royale after all. So there are others like you who have the same objective, and once you do banish and kill the boss, everyone can see you in the map. So things become interesting. Now, before you do all of that, you need to choose a hunter. You need to buy it with money. As you can see, I have $6,846, and I need to choose one of these guys. This one looks promising because we have the Vitrelli 71 carbonizer with a mounted knife in it and a silencer. So this is really good. Blank fire decoys can be a bit handy, but not really. Weak vitality shot, pretty interesting. So yeah, conduit, get a health boost when picking up a clue. Not that interesting, but hey, it's a starter one. This one is much better, but this hunter is a tiny bit more difficult to play than this hunter. At least I have a long range weapon and a silencer, you know, to take packs of dogs, you know, those trapped in cage, and chickens and everything. Did I take a high language class in high school and college? I am actually a self-taught English speaker, my friend. No, I did not take any classes. The only class I take is video game class and music and movies class, to be honest. Nevertheless, let's take this one. That explains what? Probably explains my rather mediocre English speaking skills, but hey, I'm trying my best, my friend. One thing I need to take is this. Oh, and an explosive. Dynamite skill. Oh, dynamite stick. I think we are ready. Let's dive in. My friend is one of those Russian fellas. This game seems to be attracting a lot of Russian players for some reason. As is many Steam games, to be honest, they always attract Russian players. I do not mind playing with Russian players, but the biggest problem is communication. If you cannot communicate with someone, it's a bit hard to do things. I tried talking with my partner in the last game. I don't think he even replied in coherent phrases. Although the guy was playing good. Trust me, I've been playing with idiotic players. But I cannot blame anyone. I am even worse. You saw me. I did even worse than others. Well, let's wait. Let's wait for another game. The queues in this game aren't that big. Mind you, this game is still in early access. I think it's still in early access. Not really. It used to say to the bottom left corner, it used to say that it's early access, but not anymore. I think it's got out of early access. I don't know. It's 0.430. I don't know. It doesn't mean that it's out. Perhaps later I'll check and see. But the player base, like I said, it's not big enough. But I think it's growing. It's Crytek, after all, that is making this game, and if they do a good job, I think they will attract new players. This game is pretty unique, pretty unique. For a Battle Royale, this is a really cool concept. I think they need a new map, but most importantly, some new bosses. That's the biggest problem for me in this game. The lack of bosses. I like that the bosses have, you know, phases. I like the bosses, the fact that bosses do have different attacks and different attack animation and everything, but I think that we need new bosses, new terrifying bosses. The spider, in my opinion, the first time I met the spider, it was a very interesting and intriguing boss. Moves fast, tosses poison. It's a really, really interesting fight. But the biggest problem is that it moves way too fast, way too much. In certain areas, it's really, really hard to kill it. But sometimes you get into a rather smaller area where it's even easier to kill it, especially if you bring the right equipment. Compared to the butcher. The butcher, in my opinion, is much more fun to deal with and to fight. Has more damage, has more HP, deals a ton of damage. I think it might need some charging attacks or whatever, but yeah. Something game has wrong, left the team, your partner has left the team, yeah, whatever. Whatever. And we have ball UC rail. Let's go again. Let's go again. So, one of the main things that we are doing right now, currently as players, in order to deal with the butcher, is fight him near exit doors. The thing with the butcher is, the second it sees you, it charges at you and tries to attack you, which is good. So if you are trapped in a certain area, trust me, you will die. Especially on the second phase, where he becomes immune to fire, and he becomes, he tosses fire, and his hook is lit in with fire, so the second he attacks you, he deals a ton of damage, and he burns you. Good evening, Mr. Purple Gekin, and hello to you. How are you today? I hope you're having a good day. And as you can see, we're playing some Hunt Showdown. And I was in the process of explaining how the monsters kind of work in this game. I was having fun with the butcher and his phases, but I think they need to implement some phases. I think they need to give him some sort of a charge. They did give him a new throwable animation, but most of the times it doesn't even work properly. It tries to attack us and it gets, I don't know, it gets stopped by some wall or whatever, and it doesn't work. Who am I talking to? Well, let's just say that this video, or this current recording, is gonna go to my YouTube channel, so that's the thing. I'm talking to myself, basically. Let's call myself a crazy guy. I often talk to myself a lot, like this, and explain things. It helps me get better at English, because I'm kinda new at speaking this language, so I need to speak it a lot, in order to get better. And hey, you can't just upload a silent stream video to YouTube. It just doesn't make sense, doesn't it? And right now, I have you. I'm talking to you. Leave the session. No. All servers are currently occupied. You can either wait a little longer. Damn. I was just talking about the fact that there aren't many players in this game. I think they do not have enough servers. That's the main problem. So and it's evening, so many people comes out from school and work and all those things, and yeah, the servers are saturated. Or there might be a problem with the game in general. Who knows? I guess we're waiting. The wait. So yeah. As we wait for a queue, I will go grab a cup of water, and I'll be back in a second. Be right back. Alright, I am back. Damn. I just wanted to play some. I just wanted to play some Hunt, come on. Maybe I should just leave this session and start again. Get lucky. I still like the who are you talking to? It's a stream. Pretty interesting question, to be honest, for someone who is in Twitch. I thought the last time I checked, in order to be an interesting streamer, you have to talk. Nobody likes a silent streamer. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a bit too old for this entire streaming thing. I'm still learning and I'm still getting better. But who knows? There are some, let's just say, some silent streamers out there that do not talk a lot. Ooh, we're starting the game, by the way. Lovely. But those are usually kind of a pro gamers. So, you know, some type of, these types of streamers are the kind that are really good at their games. So the first reason that you are watching that stream is because you want to get better at the game that you are watching. Many people watch Crowd for that reason. It's not because he's entertaining. He doesn't, have entertaining segments. He doesn't talk that much, but he's a really situation. It's a really godly situation in his gaming domain, so it makes sense that everyone watches it. Now, the game has started. What do we have here? My partner is here.
Hello. Hi.
As you can see, there is a good deal of crazy people in this game too. Just the fact that saying good evening is enough for him to burst into laughter. But hey, that's good. At least I understand English.
Yeah. Okay. Shelter hunters.
The reason I say there is hunters ahead, or there are hunters ahead, is because I heard the zombies being agitated, so that might be the reason. Sorry, Mr. Horse, but I do not want you to alert the others in my presence, of my presence. This game is huge in sound and sound cues, so you can pretty much read the situation just by sounds. One of the many reasons why I like this game. Now the clue is not far enough, but this area is surrounded by zombies and crows and many monstrosities alike. My friend though seems to be bugged, or AFK, something of the sort, so I need to take this a tiny bit slower and allow him to catch me, otherwise I'd pretty die a horrible death. That was the first clue, saying that there is no bosses here and we need to search. We got the first clue for the butcher, which is good for us. The second clue, which is to the south, is a bit closer than the other clues, so we'll take our way there. Also, my friend seems to be moving, which is good, and I am going into his location. Yeah, he's moving. Good. Nope, there's dogs there. I cannot run. If I run, they will catch up to me and deal some serious damage to me. But ultimately, we need to catch up with my friend. Yeah, this is a tough situation. I cannot go past the dogs. If I go there, they'll probably sniff me out. Maybe up the grave? Up the grave. Be gone with you, zombie from hell. And it's a pretty accurate description because the monstrosities in this world actually do come from hell. Or I think so. It is unwise to cross through the water, so... There is water devils, if I can remember correctly their name. And there are other factors of not crossing to the water, because everyone can see me. And that's a slight disadvantage for us. It appears that perhaps my partner saw someone. I doubt so. It's quite foggy, and the visibility is limited. That's one, and that's two. Good job. Soul Shield. Warrior. This game is called The Hunt Showdown. It's on Steam, and I think its cost is $30? Something of the sort. It's kind of a battle royale game, where you get tossed into the world, you and a hunter partner, against other hunters and against the environment, which is infested with zombies and monsters and other horror games. It's quite unique for its genre. It's not the arcadey type, but it's quite unique. We are currently heading to find a clue. Does it have a single player campaign? Not really, no. It's a battle royale game. It's only multiplayer. But it's a mix between PvE and PvP. You can very much just play against the environment. You can just kill zombies and monsters and leave the map or leave the area through these current exits. We are right here. And thank you so much, Mr. Source Sheed Warrior, for the follow. I appreciate that. It is made by Crytek, the creators of Crysis. It's made by a pretty interesting company, so they know what they are making. It's sound heavy, it's kind of a survival, it has a survival horror game vibe into it, as you can see, where we need to be a tiny bit sneaky and rely on our hearing in order to read the situation. As you play through this game, you can understand what is going on, and you can even see, or not see through hearing. You can know which type of monsters roam the certain area, which is good. It makes you actually feel like you are a real hunter. That's really good. Oh yes, I think it is the CryEngine. If I am not mistaken, it is actually the CryEngine. It's a shame it's a bit foggy, but if it wasn't foggy you can even see better, and the visibility is even more interesting, you know, the graphics and everything. The night mode is even more amazing. You can see the moon, you can see, you know, a very, very eerie and an interesting world. And as you can see, and as you can hear, we hear other hunters fighting in the distance. We reach the Lockhay docks. It appears that a team beat us to a butcher, so they are banishing it. Oh yes, now you have fog, you have rain, you have clear sky, you have nighttime, nighttime with moon, and even nighttime without moon. It gets dark, and I mean it gets extremely dark. This game does not care about darkness. They really mean business. I love it. And you probably wonder the setting. The setting is, I think it's in the 1800s. So that's why you see us, you know, wearing these Western clothes and everything. It's actually in Louisiana. Again, I am not 100% certain, but I think it's in Louisiana. So yeah, it's in the United States in the Western days. Crows. Crows are a big giveaway. If you walk near them, they will fly away and give out our position. A lot of people will hear them from far, far away, so we need to be a bit discreet here. But we also need to be a tiny bit swift, because as you can see to the top left, there's some butcher banishing. Oh yes, you like the details. That's exactly why I like this game. It's filled with detail. The map is well designed, and they are coming up with a new map pretty soon. The way that you traverse this map, you can easily kinda memorize it. And it feels really good, to be honest. It's a far cry from games such as PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. What does the banishing do? So the creatures you can see right here, like the armored zombies and the bosses, the spider boss and the butcher boss, all of them come from hell. So as hunters, we are a special kind of hunters that do hunt these monsters and banish them. Once we kill them, banish them back to hell. Exactly and literally, we are banishing them back to hell. It takes 100 seconds, 100% as you can see, 86, 87 and so on and so forth. It's kind of a mechanic for other people to be understanding of the situation and to run and try to grab the bounty once the monster is banished to hell. The second monster has been banished. As you can see. There you go, that's the ban. So gameplay mechanic wise, it means that we need to go there and try to grab the bounty. And yeah, the other hunters that just finished killing the boss are waiting for it. And once it's done, they can grab a bounty and they can exfiltrate the map safely. And that gives you a bonus, huge bonus money and experience. If you're a fan of survival horror games, this game is up your alley, man. You get a dose of multiplayer, and you get a dose of horror and survival and taking it easy. Again, it's a far cry and it's very distinct from other Battle Royale games like Fortnite, like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Blackout and everything. We obviously been taking it extremely slow here, so usually I'd be more aggressive, running and making a lot of songs. But since I'm talking, since I'm explaining everything, I like to take it slow. Many new players think that you need to be this slow in order to survive in this world. But not really, no. I agree with you. Currently the only other Battle Royale game that I am interested in is the Blackout, because it's basically Call of Duty, but it's a Battle Royale mode, so it doesn't sacrifice too much to be a BR mode, but so far the hunt is something else. That lightning you just saw is players trying to make it out alive. We can tell where they are now because they picked up the bounty. So we're trying to maybe be lucky and kill them and pick the bounty ourselves and run. They aren't that far away. As you can see the timer up above, the entirety of the match is gonna take around an hour, but usually the matches do last between 5-10 minutes, sometimes 20 to 30 minutes, depends on the situation. I've had matches where I finished the game in 5 minutes because I was lucky and I was near the boss. So I kill the boss, take the bounty, and just run away to safety. And when I'm talking to safety, I mean these things. You run to this place where there's like horses and carriages. This counter starts and you can run away from the map. That's how you win. And there are these matches. This one I think is the long one because we're taking our times.
Watch out, there's a guy here. Guy here hiding. Watch out.
What's wrong with the horse? Nothing much. The horse is in a world filled with zombies and monsters. You can imagine that the horse is a bit spooked. And it's also a mechanic to tell that there are some players next to the horse. Kind of alert us that there are other people here. Not just us. As you heard my partner say. By the way, this is called dark vision. But we are currently looking for the team of hunters that is lying in prowl here. I hope we get lucky and pick the bounty. The players who picked out the bounty are pretty, you know, close to us. In earlier iterations of this game, people used to just lie in ambush in the exfiltration sites, so that when they see the
Don't over here.
hunters with the bounty, they just kill them and take the bounty. But now when you have the bounty, you have a special vision that will allow you to kind of wall hack, and you can locate others that are camping. Pretty much killed camping in this game, which is something that I like. We shouldn't be in the water, it makes way too much sound. Alerts the others to us.
Shit.
The hunters carrying the other bounties are dead, as you can see, because you can't see the butcher bounty being picked up, so I think we can take it.
They extracted, man.
No, the spiders. Damn it, I made the wrong decision and tried to switch to the gun. I had him, to be honest. I know where he was, and I could have easily taken care of him. Damn. But to be honest, I think I should have taken a hunter with a shotgun. Shotguns in this game currently are really, really good. Damn. That was a long run and that was a pretty unsuccessful one. But hey, this is the charm of the game. And by the way, the hunters here, they die permanently. When your hunter dies, he dies. There's no coming back. You need to go to the hunters section and you need to recruit a new hunter. So you lose money and you lose experience because the hunters also does have experience and so on and so forth. Now let's pick a more interesting hunter. Already this guy is looking interesting because you have the long range and the close quarter combat with a knife and a flash bomb and yeah, the quartermaster perk. This one is very interesting. This is for the elites. Do not be fooled by the hand crossbow and Nagant 1895 precision. These are for the elite. These are kind of weapons that we cannot handle. Us, new guys. For a tier 3 guy, I think the only thing that is making this guy expensive for $494 is the Caldwell conversion uppercut. This is a pretty powerful pistol. But other than that, this guy is uninteresting, so it's gonna be this guy. Firebomb, flash bomb, decoy supply, useless, but yeah, take this one. So with this one, I can take a fight situation head on, deal some damage with the Winfield, and finish it with a Caldwell rifle as I go hand-to-hand combat. We'll see about that in the game. One thing I need to take is the heal, it's pretty important, and the weak vitality shot. You can take the vitality shot if you want to, but yeah. And make no mistake, gear in this game is pretty important. Every gear you take means something and is important. So who are we with? DRD. Let's go. Not really? Alright. So, it's a pretty slow-paced game. So, as you can see, Mr. Source Shield Warrior asks, what happens if you run out of money? And that's a pretty interesting question. That's a very interesting question. So here's the deal. First of all, when you level up this thing, when you level up, you get money in certain levels. They will give you money. So they will give you $1,000, which is enough to hire a ton of hunters. But as you can see, like I got 2,000 here and 1,000 here and 1,000 here. But if you do run up of money, you'll die a lot, and it actually happened to me. You will get a tier 0 hunter, which means the hunter is free, but the gear of the hunter is not good enough. As you can see here in the recruit section, there's tier 1s. Tier 1s usually have starting weapons and not so interesting weapons, although this weapon is pretty awesome for a starting weapon. Still, you do not get many perks and you just get basic hunters. So tier 0 is even worse than that. But what you can do is, and that's something I've already did, is you can pick a tier 0 hunter, go to the world, but do not focus on trying to kill the bosses, because that will probably attract other hunters to you. All I do is go to the other zombies, go to the other kind of bigger zombies and kill them and exfiltrate. That gives me experience and money. And take the clues. The clues give you $25 each time you find a clue. So that's $75 just for finding 3 clues, which is good. You can find up to 6 clues for 2 bosses. Of course they think of that, man. It's obvious. It's a pretty hardcore game. This is not an easy game by no means. We're not going to be hiding the sun behind, glass. This is a hardcore game. It's not a casual one, so you will die, you will lose hunters, and in due time, you'll understand the game, you'll understand the mechanics, and you'll start gaining money. Like I said, when I started playing the game, I was with $0 in my pocket. I was running with $0 hunters, and all I did was kill zombies and just run away from the map scared. Okay, so that's the starting point.
Okay.
And as you can see, we are in the night iteration. Now this adds a layer of fear into the game, and a layer of suspense and adrenaline because you don't see much, as you can see. I can hear a swarm zombie to the distance. That's a pretty dangerous zombie. You can't really hurt her a lot, and she tosses a swarm to you. That zombie. Now that's a pretty dangerous zombie. There are many ways to kill her. Just fire normal shots at her, or just one-shot her through her head. And the problem is that her head is falling behind her torso, as you can see. That's a swarm that is in her torso, in place of her torso. So if you don't place your shots correctly, things get terrible pretty fast. She does a ton of damage and she poisons. Pretty interesting as a zombie, to be honest. The normal walkers are not a problem at all. Easily disposed of and not a big deal. The armored ones, those charge at you, so pretty problematic. And the meatheads, I don't know if that's their name or not, but the meatheads are big, bulky piles of meat that causes a ton of problem if they see you. They run fast, they deal damage, and they are problematic. Damn, too bad. So that was the first clue. Now onto the second clue. The shots being fired to the north. Yeah, the shots being fired to the north are not problematic. That's probably two teams of hunters who are fighting. And speaking of which, it appears that a team got lucky and they already killed the spider. Now we have two choices here. Proceed with trying to find and kill the butcher, or just make our way to the spider and try to kill the hunters defending the spider, trying to take the bounty, and take the bounty and leave. Both options are viable. It depends on whether we are or we are not confident in our skill. Now, when I play with random players like I am now, I usually just let them follow. If they want to do that, they'll do that. If they do not want to, whatever. But if I'm playing with someone, we always go for the bounty. It makes things easier. They'll kill the boss, they'll start banishing it. All we need to do is kill them, take the bounty, and leave. And that's some bonus points. Anyway, for my friend here, it appears that we are not going to be doing that. That's probably the spider thingy. So I'd say pretty confidently that the butcher is going to be to the south. either the Devon Ranch or the Cypress Hills. I mean the Cypress Huts, the Cypress Hills. But my god, this game is pretty. It goes without saying. Oh yeah. I mean, even though it's a hardcore game, this is such a cool game, I agree with you. Hey. It is, after all, Crytek. So yeah. Even though I am not that good at the game, I'm pretty rubbish. I still like just going through these places and looking at the atmosphere and everything. If I do get a fight and I win, it's a rush. If I do fight a boss and I win, it's a rush. But overall, just walking, the animation of reloading, everything is pretty good. Some hunter was creeping up on us. Now we need to find his partner. That's 2 teams of hunters, not 1. Damn it. Damn it, the guy with the shotgun to the left. Alright. My hopes either with my partner. Yes, Zata. Damn! Damn! So those 3 teams, no, those 2 teams. So one that I burned his partner, we killed him, and 2 of them just came into the situation and they made things hard for us. Darn it. And the swarm zombie actually killed one of those. So if my partner survived, it would have been a 1v1 situation. Now, it's not about unfortunate, I'm just rubbish. Come on. I've been in the worst situations and I came out on top. But it also depends on the gear. If I land on one of those really good hunters, by the way, you can just buy the gear. You don't need to just luck out on one of these hunters. You can buy weapons, you can unlock and buy weapons, so you can gear out your hunter. It doesn't need to be one of these guys. But sometimes you do find one of these guys that is really, really good. Now let's do that. Let's just do actually that. This guy is good. This guy is really good. The only thing I need to do is get a better weapon. I think I'm gonna take the Cold War Rival. This is one of my weapons in my possession. All of these are weapons in my possession, the ones with the plus signs. These I need to buy, and as you can see, there's a lot. As the mosquito tries to draw near my face. These are really really good weapons. There's even weapons with silencers, snipers and everything. But what I need is a good, sturdy shotgun. And the Winfield M1873 Swift is a pretty interesting shotgun. I mean this one. There you go. The Spectre. So there you go. A Spectre with a bayonet and a Coldwell conversion pistol. This is good in medium range. Fuses, not really. Any items or gear that you do not need, you can just sell later for money. All of these I'm probably going to be end up selling, so they will give me enough money to get back into the game. But one thing I do need is always healing. Healing is pretty important in this game. Flash bomb? I'll leave a flash bomb. Dynamite stick, yes. Here we go. I try to focus in this one. Try to focus and do something interesting in this game. Where am I from? I often wonder, why do they want to know where we are from? Especially those that do not communicate with others. Why do you not to know where I am from when you're not even going to be talking with me in the game? Sometimes people do ask that because they want to play with players who are in the same country as they are, so they can speak their native language, but other than that, I don't see why. Oh, speaking of which, I should probably go take a detour, go play on the American server, a match or two. Now there's a big difference between the American server and the EU server. The EU server is big, diversified. You find many people with many languages, many backgrounds, many cultures, and you find a ton of people that do not speak the English language, which is a bummer. But on the American server, the amount of people that speak English language is pretty high, and communication is easier. I find it much easier to win games when I'm playing on the NA server. Sadly, playing on the NA server means higher ping. Mosquito, please leave me be. Now this is pretty Packer Punch shotgun. This is a serious shotgun that can easily help me get on top of my game. So let's hope for a more interesting game. Let me be a tiny bit silent here and focused, and we'll see if I can do something. Also allows you to kind of hear the game more over my annoying talk. Oh, I hear 2 zombies already. The big meaty boy which does not have a head. And the swarm zombie. Now that's a headshot. One of the best reasons to make certain the hunter is not going to be revived is to burn his body. Logic. But, as you can see, this is his dead partner. Now that's one team less. That horse is Mr. Dan Zant. That's a zombified horse. That's a half horse, half zombie. If we leave him be, he's just going to be turning into a not nice monster. That's one reason. The second reason is that when you go near the horse, he's going to start making a ton of noises. It's kind of, let's forget about the mechanical way of things. We are putting a horse out of his misery. I think it's a noble thing to do. You don't leave a horse that have half his leg bitten off, you know, sitting there lying and crying. It appears that my friend likes to do some firework works. Half the map and we can't find the boss? Damn. We have no choice now but to go for the third clue, which is somewhere over there. Oh yes, pretty close. Already hear some gunshots, so a team of hunters is nearby. There's 4 other teams, 5 including us, and we just killed the team, so that leaves 3 others. There's currently 6 players in the map, plus us, that means 8. Keeping these things in mind gives you a perspective of what you need to do, and they got the butcher. Alright. It's time to do or die. Welcome back, Mr. Sword Shield Warrior. It's too bad, Mr. Sword Shield Warrior. Sword Shield Warrior. The second you left, we got into a pretty huge fight against a team of hunters, and we came out on top. Bad doggy. Yeah, sink or swim indeed. And we are currently swimming. I feel confident with this shotgun, but who knows? This game is all about who gets the drop on who. Crows flying in the distance means that there's a hunter nearby. The other hunters guarding the butcher are probably waiting for us, setting traps and everything, so they are waiting for hunters. Everything here is zombified or a monster, so monsters do not attack monsters. It's futile. As you can see, my friend was peeking, and I owned him. Damn it, again! And my friend dies. Son of a bee. Damn! This was a good match. Damn it! This game is about patience, and I wasn't patient. I died in vain. To be honest, my friend died in vain many times, but other than that. So my thought process was, toss a flashbang here, toss a flash grenade, go in with my trusty shotgun, and dominate whoever peeks. The problem is that, I don't know if you guys realized, I was actually shot up behind the wall. So someone kind of saw my silhouette or something, and then he shot behind the wall. It's a pretty fragile wooden hut, so it does make sense that he gets me behind the wall, but that was unfortunate. I think his friend was blinded, so if I made it there, his friend would be dust. Nevertheless, a game about patience. Oh yeah. Well played indeed for me. Really? Is this the second time Fluffy killed me? Serious stuff. I don't pay attention to names. Yeah, it's a pretty good song. sets the atmosphere. When you first launch this game, you hear this song, you know this game is about business. Ooh, a Winfield with a silencer. Damn, and a Dolce 96 Precision. Now this guy is expensive. It's $918. Holy crap, I am tempted. I am actually tempted to buy this guy. This is a pretty insane weapon, and it's a precision one. That means more range, I think. I got destroyed by this pistol. I got dominated with this pistol. And on top of it, you got the Winfield with a silencer. The biggest problem with the Winfield though is I'm a tiny bit sucky with the aim. Nah, it's too much. $9,900. It's too much, man. It's $900. Look how much I have. 5,900. You know what? For you guys. This is for you guys. YOLO. Dude, I just got a big hit in my wallet right here, as you can see. Holy crap. See, I do need some more equipment, but this gun, this is in the hands of someone capable of good aim. This dominates. It's good ammo, good control, good damage, all around a pretty good one. The flare pistol. Now the flare pistol is interesting. I thought it was going to be useless, but you can light zombies on fire with a flare pistol, so might be useful, but you know what? I don't need it. I need healing. Stamina shot. Never really cared about it. And the weak vitality shot. That's what we need. Liquid firebomb. Ooh, that's that's some tough business right there. What we need though is just a tiny dynamite stick, just for hairy situations, and of course, a trusty knife. The knife is pretty handy when you have zombies you need to dispose of silently. But due to a recent update, guys, is ammo now is pretty scarce and rare, so if you just go guns blazing into this world, you're going to be looking for ammo and you're going to be in a tough situation. So yeah, I think this is good. Let's go. After many games, I'm starting to get into the groove of this, and let's hope there's not going to be another Fluffy in this game that will destroy me. I think throughout the history of my playing, whenever there is a guy by the name of Fluffy, he dominates me. Be it back in the old days when I was playing the Counter-Strike. Actually, I was in a team that had a guy named Fluffy, and he was God tier in Counter-Strike 1.6. But yeah, never liked the game. Never liked the name though. It doesn't make sense to me. But it feels like whenever someone names himself Fluffy, he's pretty good at the game. He doesn't care about naming himself whatever, and he wants business. But yeah, screw you, Fluffy. Damn, whoever's gonna kill me, I hope I can at least do one and get out safe, but whoever's gonna kill me, it's like someone took $1,000 from me. 1k, almost. $980. That's gonna destroy me. I mean, I'm pretty broke in real life, and add to this pretty broke in the game, yeah. I'm gonna be needing to do some rat runs, meaning I'm gonna be needing to do some zombie farming, which is not glamorous because you need to play the snake game where you need to avoid all types of hunters and at the same time kill these kind of zombies, especially the one that you can see on the monitor right now. This is a pretty interesting zombies, and the big one gives you more XP and more money. So yeah, for now I do have enough money. I think I can survive. The silencer is pretty handy, but it kinda cuts down on the range of the weapon, which is something I never understood. Is in real life that doesn't happen. But hey, it's an 1800, 200-year-old gun, so... This guy does not have voice comms. And it's another map during the night. You see, that's why I do not like this gun with the silencer. You do have this weird aim, and it kinda takes away from your vision and your overall aiming. But again, that's just me. That's just for me. My friend here has a machete, which is gonna be handy. He's probably gonna be rushing those, so I need to take that in consideration. Means that I need to be a tiny bit more ranged, which is good. That's exactly what I have. Turn the lights off. Always turn the lights off. These are traps I can set in the world. Yeah, when the door is locked, all you need to do is just make room for the door. No luck as usual. Sometimes, some games, I do take the first clue and I found myself directly in the boss area. Now that's a huge, huge plus. That's a trap I set myself, so if I step on it, and I already did that before, not only do I look stupid, I also lose a ton of HP and I get bleeding as a mosquito lands on the monitor. Whoever's watching me currently, fellas, make certain to follow. It really, really helps me. If you like the stream, of course. I'm not one of those guys that forces the follow on others. If you like the stream, do hit the follow button. If you don't, stay around. And if you do not like me at all, good luck. There's certainly better streamers than I. But I can assure you one thing. Knowledge base, I am amongst the elite. I've been playing video games since I was 5. That's 30 years of gaming. Almost 30 years of gaming. Started in 1990 and it's 2018. I play every day. Gaming is my passion and I hope to die playing video games. No, I am not 36. Come on, I am 34. But hey, close enough. Actually, my birthday was 3 days ago. October the 17th is my birthday. Ooh, thunder. Yeah, I do indeed look 35. I am kinda around 35, 34, 35. I'm a tiny bit overweight. I'm already working on that, but I think if I work on my, body, I will lose a year or two. I look my burn. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Warrior. Not a wise choice. Waking. Oh, 25. Thank you. Really? I look 25? Come on. I do have a baby face, perhaps. Baby face. Areas filled with zombos. When I hear repetitive shooting like this, it doesn't necessarily mean that there are hunters fighting each other. It probably means that there are some inexperienced hunters fighting a certain kind of boss. Yes, definitely. I say it's the spider boss, because the spider moves pretty fast, so it takes a lot of shots and they're probably missing, which is good for us. All of this is pretty good information for me. Oh, it's the butcher. See? I wasn't wrong, wasn't I? We can be a bit aggressive on these guys and it might be good for us. We can probably kill them. Depends on the way they are, or where they are. Luckily we are near the place. That's the place. The glowing white. Is that a church? Oh yeah, I remember you. I remember you. I remember the day you followed. And it's always good to have a brother with me. Always good. I presume you have probably 8 megabytes of internet. Otherwise I don't think you can be able to watch the stream. Which is a bummer. I really want more from my country to watch me, but at the same time I cannot compromise the video quality. 720p is a must in the streaming business and I cannot go under. So yeah. We are near the hunters now, and they are expecting us. So we need to be silent, we need to be focused, and we need to take our time, and if we're lucky, this is a big one. Just 480. Do I have options for these things? That's good. Clever bastards set a trap here. We have to set off the trap in order to go in, so... Never mind. Get headshot, get headshot. They flanked us from the right. Thank you, warrior. Thank you. That's why I'm on the ASMR section. Although I'm a tiny bit ashamed of myself, I should be displaying a good display of gameplay. And I know I'm a bit better than this, but I'm a tiny bit distracted by talking and everything. Damn! That's a double kill there. He killed him, and the other one killed him. They both had the idea to bring out the machetes. Now you know what? For the next game I want to be going to the US server. Let's hope that we will meet someone with good communication, because that's a huge plus in this game. If there is communication, there is coordination. If there's coordination, we can easily win. Now, usually I do stream Overwatch, and I'm pretty good at Overwatch. I play a lot, I play every day, so usually you just caught me off guard by this game. It's a pretty awesome game, as you can see, and I'm dying like there is no tomorrow. Anyway. I mean, if you like what you see, chances are if you play the game, you're gonna like the game. What I can say is that it's an early access version, so make no mistake, there are still bugs, the game is still being worked on, but the first time I launched this game I was amazed by the feeling that it gives me. The gun feels good, firing feels good. It didn't have many problems with this game. The biggest problem I had at the time was the FPS, but they've been tossing steady updates and they fixed the FPS. It's much more. It used to be like around 40 for me, now it's all the way up to 70, 90, all those things. So they're working on it, they're bringing new content and they're going in the right way. Winfield Talon. This is a pretty interesting one. I'm just gonna take this guy, it's a good one. But instead of this, I need a shotgun. I need a shotgun, and I cannot take a shotgun. Oh, come on. See, this was the gun that I had. Look how much it costs. 490. My PC specs, I have a i5 6600K Skylake. I have a 16GB RAM DDR4 and the GTX 1080. Pretty sweet. Sweat and blood in order to buy these things, especially the graphics card. But I am happy with what I have. The waxed dynamite stick. If we get to the butcher, if we were the first ones to get to the butcher, this is a one-shot right here. This is a one-shot. Let's take off this stupid thing. I do not need a knife, a blunt weapon, because as you can see, this gun already have a blade in it. So that's good. The vitality shot and everything, so everything is set up. Let's go. But as you can see, we can change region here. Europe, US East, US West, Asia. Ooh, they added a lot of servers, damn. There's only Europe and US back in the day. North America, South America and Russia. Damn, that's a lot of servers, which is good. Of course, we do need to go to the US East. I will have around 150 ping, but I think it's fine. At least this, I might find someone I can speak to. Who knows? Now I can go through the random objective, or I can go through the normal set contract. This is a sunny one. Oh yes, it's sunny, it's clear and everything. Yes, if you have similar specs, yes, you should expect 70 to 90 FPS. You can melee with a weapon, yes. Any weapon you can melee with, but it depends on the weapon. Certain weapons has bayonets in them, and the one that I've bought has a talon, an attached blade to it, so you can deal a ton more damage with it. Sometimes you can even cause bleeding, but usually when you hit with the blunt force of the weapon, you don't do that much damage. Let me give you an example. If you hit a zombie, let me accept the random contract. If you hit a zombie with a back of the weapon without a blade, without anything, it would require you 2 hits in order to kill a zombie. Now that's inconvenient because it does drain your stamina, so if you do have a weapon with a blade in it, it's a one shot. And certain weapons deal even more damage. Of course, you can browse while seeing. As you can see, this is basically the Winfield. This is the starting weapon. If you start playing the game, you're going to see this weapon a lot. This is the Winfield M1873, but this one has a talent, so to say, has a blade attached to it. You can see it on the blade. There's a small blade attached to it, which is good. It allows you to deal damage. So there's 2 types of melee. If you have a blade, you will have heavy melee. Melee deals 10 damage and heavy melee deals 60 damage. Now that's a ton of damage. It means that if I can be near a hunter and hit him with a heavy melee, that's 60 damage, that's more than half of his HP. So it's pretty good. It's pretty handy as a weapon. And the Winfield in general is a really good weapon. So you can expect good results with this weapon. So for the range, it's a 50 ranger, so it's good. There are better weapons, but this is a 50 ranger. Damage, it deals 38 damage, so it takes you around 30, 60, 90. It takes you around 3 shots in the chest to kill someone, and around 2 shots, maybe 1 shot sometimes, or most often than not, because it depends on the hunter. Most often than not, all it needs is 1 well-placed headshot in order to kill someone. That means this game is all about taking your time. You should take your time and take the shot. If you catch the hunter off guard, like I just got catched off guard, we were waiting by the door, trying to, figure out what we did to that trap. Someone came behind me, aimed to my head, and I was gone. Just like that. Of course, I am playing on the East Coast server now, so that's 6 hours. We are 6 hours ahead of them. It's 7 o'clock here. That means it's 1 o'clock there. 1 o'clock means most of them are probably in school or working, and that means there is a tiny bit lesser time or more time in the queue. As I say that, give me 1 second, time for some water. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Ah, finally got into a game. Man, the concept art for this game is pretty interesting. These dogs look pretty scary. So I hope that they will update them eventually to look exactly like the concept art. They're pretty close, but not close enough. I've seen a video, a montage, with a guy who was using that sniper that you were seeing. Damn, that sniper is a thing. That sniper, when you take your time, when you aim for the head, that sniper is a thing. I don't think you'd want to meet those dogs at all. And the biggest problem that in this game you won't find one, you always find two and sometimes up to five. So aggroing them is your death. Would you look at that? I was expecting 150 ping. As you can see to the top right is only 137. It's pretty playable, to be honest. Depends of course on the game, but usually on Overwatch I have 150 and it's pretty playable. Hey, between you and me, the Americans are a tiny bit easier to deal with than the Europeans. The Europeans take their games pretty seriously and they're pretty anal about them, so yeah. Americans are more laid back and you have more hunters nearby. Come on. Come on. That's my luck right there. Zombie in front of me. The guy was looking at me. Good news is, my partner got him. And I'm being revived. Good. Good. I need to get away and heal myself. I think we are near the spider. I hear the spider moving. I think we are definitely near the spider. My favorite game of all time. Now that's a tough question, man. That's a tough question, dear warrior. I do have many games on my mind, so not one favorite game. For example, the game that made me want to speak English. Oh yeah, there's a hunter setting up traps in that house. The game that made me want to speak English was Quake 2, back in the early 2000s. It's a game dear to my heart, but I do also have Silent Hill, I have Half-Life, many other games. Haha, gotcha, bitch. But let's just say that currently my main game is my main multiplayer games is Overwatch. Yeah, close the door, scary bastard. Two shots. Two shot and he switched to melee and got me. Good one. My body is burning. Damn. Makes things harder. Run! Come on, man. Come on. He doesn't know you're there. Just go. Just go. He's gonna try to... Ooh. Damn. I failed you. I failed you. I do apologize for failing you. But you know what? I think it's enough of nighttime. I will do one game in nighttime where I can see better. The biggest problem is that the spotlight of the webcam is right into my eyes. Yeah, I know. Excuses, excuses. I know. But yeah. We lost a ton of money. I think I lost 2,000 just today, but whatever. Ooh, now that is an instant get for me. The Spectre with a Caldwell conversion chain pistol. Damn, spyglass, frag bomb, antidote and a physician. Ooh, the physician is a pretty interesting one. Damn, if I had that amount of money, man, $2,500. And this is not 25 current 2019, $100. These are old days dollars. So it's probably around $6,000 to $7,000 nowadays, maybe even more. Anyway, let's take this guy. This is a pretty interesting guy. This is a sturdy build right here. You cannot go wrong with this one. You have medium range with your pistol, and you have the fighter. You can stab someone with a bayonet, and you can just shotgun them to death. This one I think causes rend. Tooled up with a sharp bayonet for close combat. Yeah, it's not, it's not up there yet, but it's good. I had most success with this one. Yeah, it's in the 1800s. It's in Louisiana, 1800s. Danzan, it was a pleasure that you were with me. Thank you for sticking with me for all this duration. It was a pleasure talking to you, and it was a pleasure playing with your game. See you when I see you. I stream every other day, so you can find me whenever you want to. If this game is set in the 1800s, $25,000 or $2,500 would be around $50,000. Damn! Holy crap! I'm rich. So $4,200 is more than $100,000. Now, if you convert that to my money, I am rich of rich. I can buy my town basically. Well, almost. But yeah, that's a lot of money. Total inflation is 40%. Damn. Even the dollar. Anyway, let's do the day one. It's the same, basically the same, but it's in the day. I can see a tiny bit better. So let's hope for good things. Now the pistol that I took is a chain pistol. It has a lot of, ammo to it, so you can fire for a good deal of time before reloading. And there's a certain perk that goes with it. It's the fanning. So you can basically have a automatic rifle for a pistol. It's really good in close combat. Aiming is out of the door, of course. There's no way you can aim with it. But if you're close enough, you will deal a ton of damage in a small amount of time. But yeah, in order to have that, I need to survive, I need to buy the fanning, and I need to buy other perks that will allow me to be efficient. So here's something I forgot to mention about this game. The first time you play, it's hard because you do not have enough perks, but the next time you start playing you have perks, you can be surviving, you can be dealing damage and everything. So when I started watching, when you had $67, $75, you have 130. Damn, I can't count that high. I cannot count that high. $135,700 When we adjust for 218 218 years of inflation, of course. So let me give you a rough number of how much $135,700 is in my own money. Let's bring the calculator. Ah man. So in my own money I will have 23,069,000 dinars. Holy crap. I can basically with 13 or 135,000 I can instantly buy a factory. Oh yes, and become rich. I can, not only do I become rich, I can have a sustainability of money because I just bought a factory, and I can even envision which factory I am gonna buy in my current town. They produce, mobiles and electronic stuff, and it's a vital factory for this country. It's not just this town. So if I can buy that, or at least buy shares in that, factory, I am set for life. But hey, dreams are dreams. And things do not work that way. Again, the stream does take time. Now, Mr. Warrior, you do ask me about my favorite game, but because we were in the midst of a combat, I did not answer you, correctly. So again, I can say Quake. As an FPS guy, I did play a lot of Quake 2, especially Quake 2. I did play a lot of Unreal Tournament. Now these two, I spent a lot of time in them, so I can safely say these are my favorite all-time FPS games. Unreal Tournament, especially Unreal Tournament Game of the Year edition, the 1999 edition. And as for strategic games, which I was big on, everyone was at the time because the Command & Conquer series were really huge at the late 90s and the beginning of the 20s, but Dune 2000 is another game. It's basically, I think, it was the first game that I had multiplayer in. We were playing LAN, me and my cousin, and it was the first ever game for me back in 2001-ish, where we played together. And of course he kicked my ass. At the time I did not have a computer, so he had the computer, he was practicing, and I did not practice, so he was kicking my ass. But nevertheless, I got back years later and I destroyed him. Anyway, of course, like many others, there's Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne, pretty iconic. And the game that I played most strategically is Dawn of War games. Those series I played a lot, I played competitively, I had a clan and everything. Yeah, Warcraft, come on man. You cannot go wrong with Warcraft. It's a really good game. Total War, I never been a fan of that kind of games. Now I'm really a big fan of the Warhammer series, and of course Total War have the Warhammer series, but I'm not a big fan of the, you know, you spend way too much time building up and trading, and there's economy, and there's, you have to negotiate and all those things. I've never been a fan of these games. I never had the patience to play these games because, you know, a game like Total War or Civ 5, it takes a lot of time to set up a game. In retrospective, I liked real-time strategy games that you build the base, build armies, attack with those armies. It's all about micro and micro management, or macro management. So those are the type of games that I like. But I've always wanted to play a Total War game, especially the Warhammer one. It's heavy on lore and it's got a lot of my favorite units in it, but maybe one day. I don't know. The Civ game put me off guard. The fact that a game can last up to 5 hours is a bit too much. Oh yes, I know. I've watched a lot of videos of it, but sadly, yeah, I cannot bring myself to play it. I will do, absolutely. Now, that if I do decide to play Warhammer, the Total War Warhammer, I make certain to stream it, and I will make certain that you will be with me to tell me or lead me through the ropes. Because, to be honest, I am really not initiated in that type of strategy. Always avoided it. No, this guy too does not speak. What's funny is the other genre that I did not play too much is RPG. I never was a big fan of RPG. It's only until recently that I started playing games like Dark Souls and everything. And oh man, I think Dark Souls is really up there in my favorite games of all time. So the Souls series really. I mean, oh. I don't know if he was alone or something, but I think he is alone. I never seen his partner. Oh yeah, when in doubt, bring a shotgun, and everything is gonna be fine. So you have 500 plus hours in the... Damn, that's a good deal of hours. What do you think about the Dark Crusade ones? Dawn of War... No, not the Dark Crusade. To be more precise, the Dawn of War series in general. Warhammer 40k. Ah, too bad. Too bad. I'm really a big fan, or I used to be a big fan of these. Never been a big fan of the Dawn of War 2 series. I don't know, they removed the base building and I am a sucker for base building. But overall, I like these games. Especially the design, the lore, everything. Competitively, they don't really hold a candle to StarCraft 2, which is a really good game, but nevertheless. At least I'm glad that they'd make something as good as Total War Warhammer. That's a really good one. It's funny, speaking of Total Biscuit, he was also a big fan of the Warhammer series. That's one of the reasons that I like that guy. Well, yes. Probably yes, they killed the esports aspect, perhaps, but the RTS genre in general is a dead one. It's been dead for a long time. I mean, EA were even thinking of bringing back, or making Command and Conquer Generals 2, but they opted out of it because, again, there isn't enough audience like it used to be. Always looked up to Total Biscuit. It's one of the main reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel and start streaming. Streaming is kinda, I have to stream nowadays because YouTube is kinda in the downside of things and it's kinda hard to promote your channel and do things compared to streaming, which is a tiny bit easier. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why. Now, all those games and everything, there's one genre that I am crazy about, and that's fighting games. Now that's one genre that I would never get tired of. I love fighting games. I live and breathe fighting games. My name, Yagami, comes from a fighting game. The King of Fighters to be more precise. But I'm a big fan of Guilty Gear, I'm a big fan of BlazBlue, I play a ton of Street Fighter 5 and everything. My man. In the future, I probably play some Street Fighter on the stream. I like Street Fighter, but I'm not a big fan of Street Fighter. I prefer stuff fast-paced, anime fighters, like Guilty Gear, like BlazBlue. These are the games that I really enjoy. But Street Fighter is fine. Since you like fighting games, what is your favorite? This is weird. I don't feel like I'm even getting them. My aim is fine. Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi. Now that's a game that I've played a ton of, but it's been so long. What about the new Dragon Ball Fighters? Not your cup of tea? It's made by a really good company. The same one that makes Guilty Gear. So, I don't know, you've probably seen the hype, you've probably seen the videos and everything. Oh man. Back in the days, man. Go to the arcade, you don't have enough money, sometimes you just don't have money at all, you need to watch people. I think a ton of my friends are from the arcade era, because almost all of us knew each other through the arcade. And then there's the cyber cafe era where we played Counter-Strikes and other games, Warcraft and everything, but we always stuck together. So yeah, I really like the arcade. And you know what? Let's go do some Street Fighter before I end the stream, because it's almost time to end the stream. So let's do some Street Fighter games, then we go. I played enough of Hunt Showdown. I've currently bought Abigail. Is a fun player. Is a fun character to play with. But usually my main is Birdie. You know what? Let's do a rank or two, and then we go. Street Fighter. I think I need to play a tiny bit more Hunt Showdown so that my next streams are not going to be me sucking less. But at the same time, you cannot balance. You cannot balance playing and talking in such a game at the same time. Most of the streamers that I've seen, when they are playing the game, they do not talk much. I cannot blame them, because really, it's really not easy.
I'll eat something after this.
Alright, let's hope that we can find someone pretty soon. To be honest, today's stream is kind of unusual because I always play Overwatch, and I keep it like on a professional side where I play a tiny bit of Overwatch and I always set a program, but I'm trying things differently. I'm just gonna play like I always do, and I always hop from the Hunt into Street Fighter. I do some Overwatch, I do things left and right. Path of Exile used to be a big of my playing time, but I don't know. The league has ended and there isn't much to do in that game anymore. I'm a sucker for Diablo 2. I am a big fan of the Diablo genre as well. Only recently, as I grew older. And we're up against the police guy, the dictator. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, damn, my luck. This is one of those tough ones, really.
Round 2. Fight.
I gotcha.
Let's do it again. I'm downright finished. Final round. Fight. Stay right there. You can start off.
Pressed the wrong button. It wasn't with the kick, I tried to do it with the punch, so I can do my usual combo. It's a quarter circle with punch, and then I V-trigger, and then I probably have the opportunity to throw him with an EX throw. I pressed the kick button, and I lost the game entirely.
Round 1.
Let's try this again.
Fight. You can start off.
Yeah, this character is it's a tiny bit too much for me. And he dashes, when he dashes he goes invisible. And invincible. Well, there we go.
Final round. Fight.
Seriously? Of course he ends with the throw. The biggest problem right now with this game is the throws. They are way overpowered, they are way too much, to be honest. They should do something about the throws, because unlike other games, there isn't much you can do about the throws. And there you go. It allows characters like this one who have invincibility as they dash towards you, where they should be vulnerable, to have an advantage. This is one of the things that you can see even against pro level players, where the guy will dash and they will throw, and it's a 50-50 game, because if you are trying to break the throw, it might be that the guy is going to be hitting you instead of throwing you, and when he does that, it's a crush counter, and that's a big damage combo coming towards your way. So the options are very limited. So I hope they do something against meaty throws, not throws in particular, meaty throws, where they give the guy an advantage. Oh yeah. Of course we do have G, which is one of the favorite characters in this season. Makes sense that you would find it, but there's a good deal of matchups that are not in my favor.
One more time to rank up.
And Bison is one of those that are not in my favor. So I don't really get salty when I lose. Not too
I'm
much.
president of the world.
This can go either way.
Round one. Fight. You can I'm in it. Why don't you fly? You can rush. You can Can you handle? I see you hell. Impact! I'll crush one. This is true power. Here you go. KO. Not my day.
G is really hard.
Fight. Can you
No jumping for you. No jumping for you today.
You win.
it's like we say, you win some, you lose some.
Your league has moved up to Ultra Silver.
Damn, I used to be gold. It's been a while since I last Street Fighter, so it makes sense that I am rusty. But usually I used to be
Round
tempo.
one. Fight!
That's how you read your opponents. You don't really read him, you incite him to do things.
Fight!
It's always funny when you beat Keeper like this.
You win!
They do not expect you to be spamming the same thing over and over again. And with a tiny bit of a mix-up, you can easily overpower them. But the problem is, this only works for one time because players are adaptive, and if you do it in your first fight, you'll probably end up with someone who knows or reads your moves, so you need to be mixing and matching. But overall, you do find enough tilted people that will not react properly to your throws and they will get destroyed. Like this guy. Plus, let's be real. Birdie is kind of a force to reckon with. Although he's not in the top tier of players like Yagami or Kuma, Birdie is a pretty strong character. I mean, the #1 player in the planet in terms of competitive is a Birdie player, and he has so much ranking points that it's gonna take someone a while, a ton of wins in order to reach it. I think he's the only one in his own league. There's a league special to him. I think it's Grandmaster, whatever, Golden Grandmaster or something. And it takes a while in order to, reach that. But yeah, it was a tiny bit unfortunate that he did not make it into the top 8 in the last Evo. But he was a good player.
Another fight is coming your way.
You are currently ranked in the top 2,000 in Africa.
Round one. Fight!
This is really an unusual type of player.
Round two. Fight! Here you go! No way, Springer! Can you handle?
Yeah, you should run away. You shouldn't run away. Face me. Or die.
Final round. Fight.
Are you serious? Did he just stop me? It worked. Yeah, I was not holding the right buttons. I was thinking there's something wrong. I was holding them not. Damn it. Sometimes I play against myself, not with myself. I was holding the wrong buttons. Damn. I was thinking, why is he hitting me? I'm guarding. Alright, I think it's time for the revenge. This guy has a pretty weird playstyle. So I need to have a pretty counter to weird playstyles in order to win
Round
against
one.
him.
Fight.
Yeah, jump. Jump more. Should have got him with my hook.
Fight.
Problem is that I'm losing against myself. I'm having problems with the buttons.
Fight.
This is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. So the guy lunges forward. I press the middle punch. Instead of hitting him, the guy does his ultimate. So that cancels my punch into his ultimate. That's pretty interesting stuff, Capcom. Very, 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 very interesting stuff. And his playstyle is cancerous, to say the least. Pretty cancerous. He has a selection of attacks that he knows he can attack after. So he's taken advantage of those attacks in order to foolishly take advantage of players like me who do not understand that this game is out of balance. I mean, what can I do? So the only thing I need to do in order to evade his ultimate is to jump? That's pretty dumb. I threw something at him. He should guard it or get punched. I understand that his ultimate is a throw, but still, it's a delayed throw, so I should have time. Of course, Ed. Another cancerous character. Another cancerous character.
One more time to rank up.
We'll see how this goes. I think it's the internal lag system that they have is
Round
messing
one.
with us.
Fight.
This guy is a pushover.
Round 2. Fight. You can get no way, surprise. Fight me.
His EX beats my EX. Alright, alright. I said nothing. I did nothing.
Final round. Fight. No way, surprise. You can get I go up. Double hit. Fight. This is. You're on borrowed time.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
You lose.
Are you serious? Come on! Just went behind him because why not? Reasons. Again, my greatest opponent in this game is
Round
me.
1. Fight. No way. Here you go.
Gotta be aggressive, gotta be on his
Round 2.
face.
Fight.
Nope, I'm not gonna fall for that twice. That would be dumb.
You win.
Alright, last match. Now I have to make this one a win. Otherwise it would be
You are getting
unfair.
close to a rank up.
I used to eat these guys for breakfast. Now I struggle against the 3100 guy.
Round one. Fight! Stay right there! Why you? Why you? Almost body! Why you? Almost dead! Buzz off! KO.
Why not Capcom? Why not? Why the hell not?
Round two. Fight. You can get all. Why you? Double hit. Right, this is it. Why
Seriously.
You lose.
Well, I guess I'm weak in all games, I guess. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm also probably a tiny bit tired. So I think it's time for me to end the stream. And I'll probably get back. Probably tomorrow. Or after tomorrow. It's either gonna be tomorrow or after tomorrow. Oh no, I cannot tomorrow. I have... my mother have some doctor appointments. So I need to be with her. Damn. Would have been fine if I could stream those days. But anyway, it's been a pleasure to be here. It's been a pleasure to stream, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you, especially Mr. Warrior. I have a blast, and I will be back other days, streaming other things and talking about many, many, many more things. Until then, you guys have a good one.